Alright, so I've got a little bit of a double header for you guys today. The first topic is going to be on someone that I think a lot of I Stand With Vic is familiar with. Well, actually, two people I think a lot of I Stand With Vic is familiar with. The first one is Kaelan Faire, who she was an up and coming voice actress, and so basically she's been being harassed and stuff like that, and I just wanted to, raise awareness about this, first of all. So, this comes from Zero Resurrected. So Kaelan has been driven out of the voiceover industry by scum like Amanda Wynn Lee and Marissa Lintai, who even went after her on her birthday, spreading lies about her, all because she supported Vic. And you people wonder why so many VAs have defended him. And to be honest, at first I had no idea what he was talking about until I checked this particular thread out. So, or at least this screen cap. Unfortunately, Kaelan has she's made her Twitter private, and so, I mean, I followed her, but she's deactivated her account or something like that. But this is from an unspecified date, so let me go ahead and read this to you. This is actually really sad. Hello everyone, I am only back to make a statement. The things people are saying that I am a pedo, bully, harasser, etc. is not correct. These people are bullying and harassing me. They've stopped all chances of me getting a job in this industry. She is talking about the voice acting industry because of the defamation they have spread about me. I've since quit trying. What's the point in making people happy if they're going to turn around and do this or listen to lies? In the end, nothing I does makes these people happy. So you've won. But just remember, all of your actions have consequences. Nice people have a line that you've clearly overstepped. Just because you deleted a tweet doesn't mean it's not out there. Soye? I have every receipt of everything you're saying about me. I wish you the best of luck in your career. God bless. So, first of all, I don't really have any evidence of the harassment on her end, although maybe if I go down this thread it'll make more sense to me. Oh, here we go. Okay, so my best guess is this is a Kickvic person. She, talking about Kaelan, once used her higher follower count as her being better than me and as meaning that she doesn't need to listen to any advice I give her. Whitney Williams, voice actress. I don't want to be this person, but she was recently let go from a project I voice in after harassing me about being beneath her, and then DM'd me a fake apology in which she blamed her autism on her inexcusable behavior. Definitely not wanting to work with her anytime soon. Can you provide that DM? Or are you just going to spew words without actually providing proof like literally all of the Kickvic people have? I was gonna refrain from quoting this again. Sorry for the notification spam, Xavier. But I want to make things absolutely clear to everyone here. I suggest that none of you work with Kaelan. Now, unfortunately, I can't really click on these because it's just a screenshot, but I can read these to you guys from the view I have of them. But anyway, this profile picture proves that it's from Amanda Wynn Lee, just because I don't see anybody else on Twitter that has that profile image. Anyway, that your semantics and that you. What does this have to do with Vic assaulting Monica or grooming underage children? Grow up. Bashing your moral compass on whether or not you like someone's voice in a cartoon is blanking pathetic. Here's Kaelan. The whole, quote, I actually know people involved line is BS. I know Vic too, and guess what? We both are biased. That said, at least if I see proof I believe it... Sorry, I thought I read that wrong. That said, at least if I see proof I believe it, you can't even look at proof without screaming that only you're correct. and Amanda Winley, face it, you're washed. You're a washed-up actress who thought you could get good publicity from this and found that you just drove your name further into the trash and, something. You can redeem yourself, 3 out of 3. Nah, never mind you too much. My best guess is she said past, just because, you know, that's how basic sentence structure works. Never mind you too much past the point of redemption. So, I don't really mean to say this, but, against Kaelan, but I think this last statement here is kind of, pushing it a little bit, just because no one's really too far gone for redemption. I mean, you can always turn around, but the deeper into the hole it's the deeper into the hole that they get themselves that makes it harder and harder to believe that they can actually be redeemed. But you have to remember that these guys are flawed human beings as well, and that they can come back from this. Granted, it's going to take a lot for them to come back from this, just because, you know, we're flawed humans, but regardless, they can still, the option for redemption isn't lost for these guys. So this bit was actually recorded after the video was done in terms of the editing, but I had something that I wanted to say to Kaelan herself, if she happens to watch this. So I understand, like, Kaelan, if you're watching this video, I understand that you're completely crushed by this and you're depressed by this, and I completely understand that. I completely understand that, and what they did to you, what these people did to you, is so evil. It's so evil, and it's so vindictive, and it's so... And honestly, I mean, crying out loud, they didn't even give you a chance. I mean, they didn't even give you a chance to be in the industry. And the fact that they just kicked you out of it, again, just based on tweets, is ridiculous. It's horrible and it's ridiculous in my opinion. Especially when, you know, when the exact opposite of what they're saying about you is in fact true. Where they were the harassers and they were the ones that were, you know, doing all these bad things. And the fact that they kicked you out is just horrible. It's horrible and it's really depressing. And I can't even imagine what you're going through right now, about it. You know, what's going through your head about it. But what I can tell you is this. Don't stop fighting. Don't stop fighting. Think about it from this point of view, okay? So, when they came against Vic, when these guys came up against Vic, they expected him to crumble and they expected him to fall. And to never hear from him again, basically. If you know what I mean. And, well, both figuratively and literally. But that's the mindset of these people, is that they will not stop until you are, forgive me for being this morbid, but they will not stop until you are in the ground. I don't mean to be morbid when I say this. I'm just saying that I've been around these people enough to know, and I also went to high school with a few of them as well. Not involved in this particular situation, but I went to high school with a few people, and like this, and they will not stop until you are dead and gone. They will not stop until you are just pummeled into the dirt, and until you refuse to get back up again. But here's the thing. The fact that... Okay, let's take Vic as an example. The fact that Vic is fighting back, and that, you know, there are people supporting him, and that there are legions of fans out there to lend their support. I mean, the GoFundMe is proof enough for that. Is proof of their support enough for that, as well as the conventions that he's been going to. But regardless, the fact that Vic is still getting support and has risen from the ashes and is fighting back drives these people insane. And like I'm going to state later on in the video, or is it before? I don't really know. I didn't really rewatch it. But anyway. But like I say, at some point in the video, these people are so self-conscious about the fact that Vic is fighting back, that they are literally starting to turn on each other. Because they've been doing this for so long that they can't keep up appearances anymore, and they've revealed their true colors. And what? Okay, so Kaelan might be watching this, and she'll be like, "Okay, what's the point of this? Well, here's the point I'm trying to make to you. Don't stop fighting. Rise up. You can rise up from the ashes, and you can prove these people wrong. The fact that, I mean, for crying out loud, even trying to have a civilized discussion with these people now gets you blocked, which is a win in and of itself, because when you engage in a discussion with someone, they've got two options. They can either respond intelligently. Well, actually, technically, they've got three options. They can either respond intelligently to you and what you're saying. They can either, have a civilized discussion through that. They can either respond with profanity and straw man arguments and fallacies up the wall, or they can block you outright and show their true colors about how they never wanted to have a discussion with you, and that they have nothing to say. They have literally nothing to say to you about it. That can, repel your criticism and stuff like that. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make here is that I realize that you're depressed and that you are crushed by this, and I completely understand that. Again, I completely understand that. But don't let this be the end. Don't let this be the end. Rise up from the ashes, fight back, get supporters. I mean, you've got one right here, the guy talking to you. You've got one right here. But, as well as many others. And again, the fact that if you do choose to fight back, and I'm not talking legally by any means, I'm talking just, rising up and proving these guys wrong in terms of, tweeting about it and stuff like that. I mean, it's kind of poetic justice. If they can tweet harassing things to get you kicked out of this industry, why don't you then have the right to fight back? That's what free speech is all about. That's what free speech is all about. And they've weaponized free speech against us, and I have a feeling that that if you were to do that to them, again, not in a boastful way and not in a way to attack, but just in a way to defend yourself and to prove what they're saying wrong, if you were to do that, then they would be reeling from the impact, and they would be at a loss for words at the showing of courage. Because true courage is what truly conquers the enemy, and is what conquers fear. Lying back and willowing in the fear and giving into it is the first sign of actual defeat. And again, Kaelan, I'm not saying that that's what you did. What I'm saying is maybe take a little time off, process it, and then come back and stand up to these guys. Because again, everyone needs a break. Everyone needs a break from stuff like this. And if you take one, I have no problem with that whatsoever. But again, at some point, you have to fight back in some way. Now, whether that's legally or if it's, again, just through tweets, don't do it in a way to attack. Don't do it in terms of attacking them. Instead, do it in terms of defending yourself. But yeah, this ramble on has gone a little bit too long. But yeah, I just wanted to get that little point across to Kaelan if she happens to be watching this. I realize it's not as coherent as I would want it to be, but yeah, hopefully she got something out of it. But yeah. Anyway, back to the video. Okay, and then the other bit that I wanted to talk about was this thread from Zero Resurrected that went viral. it went friggin' viral. I was seeing it all over the place, and a couple of the other guys like Hero Hay and I think Yellow Flash also covered it. This particular thread. but in their own videos. But that was over the weekend, and I usually take the weekends off from video making. So anyway, let's go ahead and go through this. Again. Language warning as always. Zero Resurrected. Here's the beginning. I was trying to take a break from the Vic drama, but what I just heard needs to be talked about. As I'm typing this, OhioCon is currently hosting a late-night roast. A roast is basically where they make fun of each other, in very derogative ways. They have done this for a long time. The guests this year included many VAs and industry workers. Let me see if I can get closer with this, so that you guys have a better view on the screen. The guests were Aaron Dismuke. In case you don't know, Aaron Dismuke is he voiced Alphonse Elric in The Full Metal Alchemist, the original run of the anime in 2003. So, Michael Sinterniklaas, I guess, Jerry Jewell, Alejandro Saab, aka Kagi Games, Rob Mungle, Emily De Jesus, Justin Nordell, and nobody's favorite VA, Amanda Wynn Lee. And of everyone mentioned in this lineup, only the first 4 managed to get through their routine without whining about Vic. So remember when Sabat said that they don't talk about the Vic drama at cons? Well, he lied to you. Okay, let me rephrase that. This roast prohibits filming, so only when their BS can't get put out into the public do they talk about it at cons. That's pretty sleazy if you ask me. A friend of mine who would rather stay anonymous is at this embarrassment of a roast right now, and if word got out that he leaked this, he could get blacklisted from a lot of cons. So while I have no actual proof of this, you'll have to bear with me. Speaking of proof, Wynn Lee actually came out and full-on confessed to the roast happening. So, yeah, she said something like she was completely sober when she called Vic out or something like that. So, yeah, that pretty much proves that it happened. But anyway, he managed to get in late into Amanda Wynn Lee's routine. She was wasted, shocker, and spent most of her routine trash-talking not 1, not 2, but 3 people who weren't there to talk back. Vic, Todd Habercorn, and Chuck Huber. Her husband, yes, someone married that harpy, also talked trash about Vic. They even went after his mother. Jeez. According to my friend, the audience was displeased and many of them left. Next, Rob Mungle, who was also, I can't come up with another phrase for that, so, who was also, blank-faced, called Vic a blank despite not even knowing him. Then he introduced Aaron Dismuke by making a joke about his behavior towards women being because of his almost father-son relationship with Vic. Aaron, bless his soul, did not fire back or mention Vic once. I can only imagine how cringy that must have been for Aaron to sit there and just listen to these guys badmouth and trash talk one of his closest friends. But anyway, neither did Jerry, Michael, or Alejandro. And the funny thing, they were the only ones on that panel who weren't wasted. Coincidence? Next was one of the con runners, Emily De Jesus, who, stop me if you heard this one before, was also drunk. My friend says that she never mentioned Vic directly, but her jokes were more passive-aggressive and defensive of Monica. She made people in her table leave when she stepped down. Next was former Funimation scriptwriter Justin Nordell, the last-minute replacement for J. Michael Tatum, who couldn't make it this year. Tatum was always the Tolkien gay guy, and Nordell was gay, so they got him instead. You could have picked someone that the fans actually know, but I digress. His act was the worst alongside Amanda Wynn Lee's. He called Vic a homophobic, piece of trash, despite the man he replaced openly saying otherwise on multiple occasions, making some joke about Chris Patton, messing with Monica Rial, my apologies for that image, and then said the soyest trash you'll probably ever hear. Quote, 2019 was the year that women I'm proud to call my friends stepped up. If anyone in the audience other than my friend were still there, he probably would have gotten the only laughs in the entire night for that. Afterwards, it ended. Now why am I telling you this? Well, one, it proves that they lied about not wanting to talk about Vic at cons, and it also boils down to one simple thing. Don't dish what you can't take. If you're gonna talk trash about Vic and his supporters when they're not there to talk back and even threaten to kick people out for calling you out or recording your degeneracy, then you deserve this to get out. You thought you had it all under control, that you could talk all the trash you want with no consequences. Now you know that's not the case. Life's a mess. And how many times has Vic thrown out insults, made a douchebag out of himself, or talked trash about the people that stabbed him in the back and have tried to ruin his life? Zero. He's right about that. I mean, Vic has really stayed quiet about everything. I mean, literally everything on his Twitter page. As well as the recordings of conventions that I've seen of him at conventions since this whole thing started. Never forget that with the exception of a very vocal minority, the fans support Vic and hate you. And then, he tagged a lot of creators, which is I mean, obviously that's how they got wind of it. But yeah, so my 2 cents on this, honestly, here actually, let me see if I can pull it up. Give me a second. Okay, guys, so I managed to pull it up. So this is actually a list of reports given by the man with the mission on Twitter. And so this is actually from Winley's official Twitter account. So the first one is really the only one that I wanted to talk about. I was completely sober when I roasted that pedo creep. So that right there is admittance that this thing actually happened. So, for crying out loud, if you wanted to keep up appearances, the least you could do was deny that the roast happened. But no, you just had to go and shoot yourself in the foot, which again is incredibly entertaining. And so like that, but it just goes to show that these people, they don't have a moral compass of any kind. And even then, I've seen this on Twitter in very small increments. They're even actually turning on each other now, which proves that the Kickvic movement is pretty much about to implode in on itself, because they're throwing each other under the bus. They're attacking each other. They're basically, I mean, once the attention wears off from this on their end, what else do they have to do but to eat each other? I mean, figuratively, not literally, obviously. That's cannibalism and that's disgusting. But I mean, it just goes to show you, as the Joker said in The Dark Knight, these civilized people will eat each other, pretty much. I mean, figuratively, obviously, but yeah, on the other side though, let me see if I can pull this up. There was footage of let me see. Okay, so to end here, this is footage of Vic at an event that actually happened this past weekend, over in LA. And I really wish I could have gone, but unfortunately I was busy with preparing for school and stuff like that. But anyway, so this is footage of Vic at this con in LA, and apparently over 700 people showed up. So yeah, Kickvic, eat your hearts out. But anyway, let's go ahead and go through this footage. Whoops. Okay, let's go ahead and go through this footage.
I'll see you guys in just a bit. That's a great shirt. Thank you, guys. We'll see you in just a bit. I'll see you guys in just a bit. Thank you, guys. We'll see you in just a bit.
But yeah, so this pretty much just shows that as much of a beating as Vic's taken, because of this, more and more people are waking up to the fact that all of these allegations against him are bogus, and they're willing to support him. And honestly, it just warms my heart so much to see him just doing what he loves to do. And I really hope that he gets that. I mean, think about it. This was from the 11th of January, and this proves that 2020 is already off to an awesome start for Vic. And I hope that he continues to do well this year, and that he gets invited to more conventions. But yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts about everything that I talked about in the comments below. Also, before we go, I have an update for, actually, I might save that for a separate video. It's about my review series, and that's not really pertinent, to this. But, yeah, anyway, again, let me know what you guys thought down in the description below, in the comments below. I can't speak today. In the comments below, let me know your thoughts in the comments below on all of this. Spread this on Twitter, spread this around, share it with your favorite creators, and yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep updated. Anyway, God bless, and have a wonderful day.